Yeah, so let's talk about the assumptions about human-made architecture. Um, we're, first of all, one of the assumptions is that it has to be rectilinear. And I think that probably is the most lethal and odious assumption about architecture, human-made architecture, because the square box is in fact one of the worst structures you could ever invent. You notice that nature never has anything square. There's a reason for that, because probably if there was anything square ever in the 5 billion years history of nature, it would lasted maybe a minute, because the square box is probably, from my research, the most inefficient, ineffective shape in the universe. And I'll tell you why. When you try to put pressure on a box, there's two places that it'll break apart. One is that the flat planes are very difficult to reinforce, so you have to put more material into those flat planes to resist stress. So that means utilizing material in a very poor fashion, which is what we've assumed we have to do. Then also, when you try to put pressure on a box, it'll start to skew and break open at the corners. So the corners are very weak. Also, if you have a fire, and usually fire is carried by wind, if you blow fire against the side of a box, a flat surface, it'll actually create a suction, and the surface will be a target for fire. There's no place for it to go because it's flat. And in an earthquake, in tsunami, in any kind of stressful situations, the box will not hold up. And if you're heating a box or cooling it, the hot or cold air will rise and stay there at the top. So where you are at the floor level, it's not getting to you. And so we wonder, well, okay, we're paying all these heating bills, but where's the heat? It's up in the ceiling. So that doesn't work very well. And then, so you have to buy more materials or use more materials to reinforce this object, and energy-wise, it doesn't work very well. And also, if you think about it, how do we move in space? We move usually in arcs and curves. You never see anybody working straight and then at a 90-degree angle turn, and then turn again 90 degrees. The box doesn't accommodate our physical, natural way of movement. So when you combine all of these inadequate features of this square or this cube, you come up with an anti-solution. It's not a solution at all. The characteristics of nature's designs are that nature expresses certain principles that are universal to everything. Mm-hmm. And those principles are like minimizing the amount of materials, maximizing the structural strength of the object, maximizing the enclosed volume of the object, shaping the structure in such a way that stresses that are placed on this shape are distributed equally, so that the shape is essential really to the survival of the form of the organism. And so nature is creating a shape, a form, that is dissipating force that's placed on it. Also, nature chooses forms that are energy efficient, in the sense that if there's, say, warm air inside this shape, that the air naturally circulates because of the form, not needing any kind of external power. And that's one of the beauties of nature, that the nature allows the material and the form to dictate the entire workings of the organism. Also, it's localized, that all shapes and forms, all existing things are of the native area, and that they're used in such a way that are that understand how that particular material works. So when you put all of these principles together, you get always an incredibly intelligently designed shape and form and material that is entirely functional. Really the function, the purpose, and the form itself are completely integral. And so the added feature is that aerodynamics is also very important, that the shape has to be aerodynamic because the winds, the breeze, the characteristics of air movement around it is always a feature of in fact, is sometimes crucial to the survival of whatever the organism is, whatever the shape is. And so you put all of these natural forces together and the materials available, and you get I feel, the most intelligent result for a design. And the problem with human design is that we don't think of our built environment as needing to address the issues of wind and internal efficiency of air currents and dispersion of stress and strain and all those things. Mm-hmm. So we're working at a much lower, a much less efficient level than nature is working. And keeping in mind that nature has been here for 5 billion years, and we've been around, even just as an intelligent species, maybe for 1 million, and I would say as a civilization for at most 10,000 years. So if you were to put nature's existence into 1 year, we would have existed as an intelligent being for about an hour. So it seems to me that that to look into nature as a resource for educating ourselves about how to build better environments is absolutely crucial. And I should point out too that we're the only living species on the planet that seems to not have any kind of intrinsic inborn intelligence about how to build anything. We have to actually learn it. We come into the world with absolutely nothing, with complete ignorance about the environment around us. And so since we have to learn it, where do we go to learn it? Well, it seems to me that nature is the best teacher for that. And I think that once you discover the information that it's wrong, that everything we're doing is wrong, that the built environment is completely incorrect, then you can't go back.